Welcome to Life Unpacked with Mel Ryan and our new series, Life Bombs. This is a series about the moments that change everything, the moments that shatter the life we thought we were living and force us to see ourselves differently. Across 9 real stories, we unpack the truth behind grief, abuse, addiction, affairs, miscarriage, loss, love and joy, and everything in between. These conversations are honest, raw, and unedited, because life is unedited. Each episode invites you to look at your own story with more compassion and less judgment, to notice the patterns that you've been repeating, to understand what you've been working on your whole life, and to finally say, I've got me. If you're ready to hear real stories, to grow with others, and to see yourself more clearly than ever before, this series is for you. This is Life Bombs. This is Life Unpacked with Mel Ryan. Welcome back to Life Unpacked with Mel Ryan, the Life Bomb series. Today's podcast is one of the most fascinating and transformational stories in the series, because it shows in real time what it looks like when someone's life keeps offering them the same lesson in different forms until they're finally ready to see it. Kata's story is almost like a modern-day Cinderella story. Not rags to riches, but despair to surviving, back to despair, and surviving again. And when you listen closely, you can hear the thread running through it all. This is a story filled with sliding door moments, life or death moments, endings, collapses, and constant invitations to choose differently. In this podcast, you'll hear how Kata meets endings again and again, relationships ending, versions of herself ending, and moments that feel like death, all pointing her back to the same question: who is going to save me? And what makes this episode so powerful is that slowly, bravely, and imperfectly, Kata realizes that she's the one she's been waiting for. We explore how self-sabotage shows up when we're desperate for someone else to rescue us, how clever we are at avoiding ourselves, and how life keeps arranging the same lessons until we're willing to take responsibility for loving and supporting ourselves. You'll hear the behind-the-scenes work happening alongside the chaos, the stacking of awareness, insight, and growth, even while old patterns are still playing out. Before we begin, I want to offer a few important things to remember. Remember to please support yourself as you listen and seek any help you may need. This episode contains strong language, discussion of substance abuse, and may create emotional responses to certain stories talked about. As with all Life Unpacked with Mel episodes, there is no judgment here, just a safe place to explore how each of us experience life. People's stories are here to help us understand more about our own stories and not here to be ranked or criticized. Our ladder is sideways, and we stand beside each other while we unpack. Kata's story is not about getting it right, it's about learning. It's about accountability, responsibility, and discovering that the deepest form of self-support comes from finally choosing yourself. This is Kata's story.
Why'd you choose me?
Why'd I choose you?
So I kind of know, but I'd like to know from your perspective.
Because your story, every single person's story is incredible. And people will say to me, I'm so boring. There's no point unpacking my life. And when we start to unpack someone's story from the position in their family, what career they picked, who their parents are, where their life has taken them, what they've attracted, it's so interesting. And we get hints about understanding ourselves in it. So for me, with you, your story is so incredible in how you found yourself and that you came back to like I'd worked with you for a while knowing that you would. And we were so close so many times.
I know.
So close so many times. And it wasn't the frustration because it's not about me fixing you or anything. It's about me holding the space in all the ways that we could possibly do it. So you could actually go, I've got the answers. Yeah. And it was like layers. You get this bit and then you get this bit and then this would happen or life would happen or you go in a different direction or like a bond would happen. I don't know. We escape because we don't know how to support ourselves or we don't really want to face the whole entirety of everything at once.
Yeah.
And so I think for me, it's not that you're an average story, and I don't mean that meanly. It's like you're an incredible story in a life that everyone is lost in.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Yes. But you're, to me, someone that found how to support yourself to get you back. And that's why it's so important to me, because I think so many people are so nearly there,
Yeah.
but they just don't know how to give themselves permission to do it. And so when you sing to someone else's story, I think that's what makes it so perfect, is because people pull threads out to go, I can do that. I see that. I relate to that. This is what I was like. So that's why. Here to Life Unpacked with Mel. Today we have the beautiful Kata, and we are doing a podcast with her. So Piper, thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
You're most welcome. I'm excited to share this space with you today.
Yeah, I feel pretty privileged, actually, to have been asked.
It's special. You know what's special? Oh, thanks. Yes, what story is certainly special. I'm excited to share where you go with this because, well, as you said before, this could be a 12-hour podcast.
Yeah, so many options.
I think that life seems to take us it's the same theme, but we do it in so many different opportunities. So many different ways in our life where it happens to us, and then we don't unpack it properly. We then tend to do the same pattern over and over and again.
Yes, always.
And so I think when we begin to be able to find the threads in it, and the earlier we are in our life, that we can. So let's start with you. Where do you fit in your family? What's your position in your family?
I am the youngest. I'm the only girl. So I've got a bonus there because, yes,
Special already.
I was ultimately born the special one.
Definitely.
Immediately.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
there's a lot of pressure, though, being the special one.
Yeah. What's the age gap between you and your brothers? Yeah.
Years, 10 years, 3. But my 2 oldest brothers are my half brothers.
Yeah.
You want to call them that? Different dads.
So growing up, where did you fit in that little kind of Brady Bunch situation? Were they living with you, the boys as well?
Yeah, they were until they were about 16 and naughty. Dad's kids. It was always really apparent to me right from when I was really little that they weren't
2 different families.
They weren't his kids.
So for you, even with that though, because there's such a big gap, so you've got your mum, your dad, older brother that's 3 years older, so like when you're 6, he's 9, even that's very younger. So if you were 4, you've got a 14-year-old and a 15-year-old sibling. That's
Yes.
like 2 extra parents.
Yes. Well, they were.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Were they bossy to you or kind of not in your life?
No, they were my protectors big time and like my best friends. So I worshipped them.
So in a way, I would say you kind of almost had not older males on a pedestal, but it's a way that you felt safe as a little girl because you had all these much older males around you looking out for you.
Well, they were always my protectors. And like they hung a lot of shit on my brother, the one that's 3 years older. And I think because he was the first golden child to be born
In the new
family. And he was a boy.
Yeah.
And then I was like the little girl and I was the little sister. So that was with them. They all looked after me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
everyone did.
Yeah, because I was,
Did you find from that, I often ask, because you've got people that you check in making decisions with, that it was hard for you to make decisions as you got older because you've almost got like 4 parents, 5 parents kind of telling what to do.
But I was always very mindful of my big brother's opinions on things. So, like, for example, I was really shy around boys. And I didn't I couldn't even mention a boy's name in my house because it was like the whole house is on me about it. So I couldn't even have like friends that were boys when I was younger. It was like, the big brothers all over it. So I think I was always very mindful of their opinion, what they thought. Yeah, what their opinions.
Yes. So in a way, it was more before you could make a decision, you would almost run it by your headspace and what they would think to make sure that you were doing it in line with what they wanted. And then you would be able to make that decision.
Definitely.
It's not making a decision, but it's definitely guided into the avenue that was people pleasing in lots of ways.
Definitely. Yeah.
What was your parents like?
difficult, scary. It was scary. And
so the opposite to how you felt with your brothers.
yeah, they were in a lot of ways my protectors from him. And I was always on their side, you know. They were always in trouble with him, and I was always sticking up for them. Like I would lie for them, for example, if they would sneak out and go to a party when they were young, they'd go do something naughty, and I would,
Because they weren't his kids.
Yeah.
So it's almost like you're in this family, but you had two families.
Yes.
Because you had your brothers, and then you had your mum, your dad, and your other brother. So you're in between two families.
Yeah.
Two alliances.
And then my mum was like, she could do no wrong in my eyes when I was young. And I think in a lot of ways, now that I'm grown and I can look back on it, I think that's because in a way I felt protective over her as well. It was like the evil father, and we were all in alliance against him.
In the way
I couldn't see that she was faultless in my eyes, my mum. But as I'm older, I can see there were probably many faults.
would say we contribute to our situation.
Yeah. I always felt like she was scared.
Yes, we talk a lot about fight, flight, that kind of thing, and fawning is a response we have when we're in that situation that we don't feel safe. And so you then just go along with what you think will be right for the other person, so it doesn't rock the boat.
I didn't want to cause any trouble.
And your mum would be the same.
Yeah, that's right.
Tell me about your dad. What was he like growing up as well for you? Like, how did...
Just go back to the word scary all the time. With my dad, I was always scared of him. And it's not like he was, he would go swimming with us and we'd go on bike rides and he'd take us on family holidays. And like, in a lot of senses, he like took us to the theatre and took us to beautiful restaurants and like really instilled like culture and art and all these wonderful things into our lives. And I thank him for that. But he was always angry about it. You know, it was like a lesson. It was like, we're going to do this because it's a lesson that you need to learn to like better yourself. It was not like we're going to go do this fun family thing. There was always an educational element to everything we did. Even if we went on like a little trip to the motel, like this was our big family holiday to go to like Rhoda and go and see the hot springs, and we'd stay in like a motel. And so it's not like some fancy big trip, but yeah, it's like we have to stop at all the plaques and read all the information about all the history, and we'd have to stand there and learn the lessons about this is the building that we're looking at and this is why. So there was always...
Well, you almost have to do the right thing in that space.
Yes.
You got to wait, read the thing, go to the next bit.
It was very military in a way, and his dad was military, hardcore.
Right.
So he got brought up in a house like that. And it was very, like, and I'm talking he was a military kid, like he lived on barracks and stuff, like a full-blown military kid. And our house was...
You look at that generation of man. It's like for him, good parenting, and also what year was your dad born around?
1950.
So you're going back to, you know, the rule book. This is how you raise a family and you provide for your family, and not children are seen and not heard, but there's that real disciplinary, have respect for your elders, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Just so for you, it was not the fun, nurturing, safe, muck around, explore the space. It was the teaching and the classes on you kind of.
Yeah. And even when he did kind of muck around with us, and he did muck around with us, it never felt, it was almost like, well, what's going to happen next? I was always waiting for something bad to happen or him to get mad. It was never like, it didn't feel real. Yeah. Because there was so much more anger than there was the fun stuff. And the fun stuff was just like, well, who the F are you?
Yeah.
You know, who's this? It's like he was trying too hard. It didn't feel legitimate.
Yeah.
Yeah. Him playing with us. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was just ticking a box.
Yeah, well, it's like, I'm doing something fun with my kids. I'm a fun dad today. And I'm like, no, but you're not, though. We all know that you're not. So who are you trying to be?
Yeah, and you almost say, this is weird.
Yeah.
Why are we doing this fun thing?
Yeah. Like, what's the agenda, hidden agenda?
Do you think he didn't know how to have fun?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
He just followed so many rules that he just didn't know how to relax or be present in a moment.
Yeah.
It's almost like when you're saying about going, look at things when you're little. To me, he's never in present time. He's always about learning this, and we're going here next, we're doing this next.
And I do think also my dad was on the spectrum. I think that's pretty clear now that I'm older and from talking to my aunties and stuff like that, and just knowing more. My dad was not don't like to use the word normal, but he wasn't normal in a lot of ways.
So when he picked up the rules, he would do the rules black and white.
Yes.
Yeah, solid.
Very
So it's like,
obsessive.
this is how you act as a daughter. This is how you act as a son.
The boxes ticking, almost like he's ticking off a list of, well, I've achieved that now, tick. Move on to the next thing, tick. And he was always social. I think around his family, it's when he was more kind of, I guess, his true self, because he could put on an act, and he was the boss, big man on campus, and he was in politics and all this kind of stuff, and he could be the winer and diner and all of that when we'd have the big events at our house and things like that, and kids would be in the nice clothes. But when all of those people were taken away, that's when he could just be like, oh, well, I don't need to put on a show now, and I can just be a bit messed up.
Was he a drinker?
No. And if he was, I'd never noticed it. But no, he was never a big drinker. He was never a smoker, nothing like that.
He just still did the brews. When were they married for? When you're older?
It's 20.
Your life between now and now, tell me about your story. What do you like at school? I think some of the things that we fall in love with, when we're growing up, the subjects or what we do, really tell us a reflection of something.
I was a drama student, but I'm surprised. But I wasn't to begin with.
Yeah.
I became a drama student. But I had to get straight A's at school. I was like, no matter what subject, whether I like it or not, I'm getting A pluses. I was very studious. My parents never had to tell me to do my homework, striving for the alternate at all times.
Do you think that's the reflection of when you have all these beautiful people in your life that you got approval when you did the right thing for them?
I think it was self-approval as well. Because even with my dad, even if I got A pluses, there was always, he would draft read some story that I'd written. I was a bit of liked poetry and literature and reading and all that too. And there was always red marks through my stories,
you know. Always be better at something.
Yeah, but it was never quite right. So I was like, well, I can't do right by you. So it was more about me, really.
Yeah.
Yeah. Than trying to impress someone else. I would be disappointed in myself if I didn't do well at something. And I loved school in some ways.
Did you have some beautiful female friends at school? Did you find that, or were you?
Not really. No, not when I really think about it. And I think that comes from I grew up in New Zealand, and when we moved to Australia, I went from having a lot of friends in New Zealand to I was all of a sudden at a new school, a very posh private school. They were real bitches to me. Yeah, really bad when I first.
So you really didn't feel like you fit in?
No, and I had brothers, so I was always liked hanging out with boys. The girls never made sense to me. They were too dramatic and they were just too worried about bullshit, really. Whereas I liked hanging out with the boy. I was always a tomboy.
Yes. It's easier.
Way easier.
Yeah. Simple. Yeah. Black and white rules.
Yeah, I can handle boys because I've got a house full of boys.
You mean childhood?
No, I was 11 when we moved.
Yeah.
I didn't really start doing drama stuff. I always wanted to do drama, and I got a bit scarred because I tried out for the school musical and I didn't get in when I was in year 8, and it crushed me. And then I was like, I'm never doing that. I'm never going to try and be on stage. That's it. Didn't get into the year 8 musical. My life is over. And I became more of a science. I wanted to do forensic psychology, and I was all about crime and the body, and I was trying to work out. It was all about, more sciencey kind of subjects. And then it was about halfway through year 11, and one of my teachers said, you're not doing that well. But I wasn't doing well in the science, but have you thought about doing drama?
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah. And I just completely changed all of my VCE subjects. I changed halfway through and became a drama nerd.
Did you love it?
Loved it. Yeah. That was my, put me on stage in front of hundreds of people, give me a monologue alone, and I'm in my happy place. And I think I'm still like that.
I find when I worked a lot with people that are absolutely immersed in their theatre side of things, when we've unpacked their stories, so correct me if you agree with this or not, because they're all different, but They say it's far easier to play a character that you're given than it is to play your real life. Well, yep. Which is why they're so good at it, because it's better to escape my life. If you give me a role, I can actually be authentically 100% that role.
Mm-hmm.
But if you give me my life, I don't know how the fuck I can be authentic.
But I think I could easily have just as easily gotten up on stage and spent an hour talking about myself as well, because I've always been a bit of an open book and I don't shy away from.
Yeah, good.
I'm an oversharer. I tell everyone my whole life story.
Good.
People that do not need to know it. Even my brand new workplaces, I just decide to tell them all of my drama and trauma that I've been through. So, yeah, I think, I don't know what it is.
I think that's healthy in a way, that the same way that we watch a movie or read a book to try and understand ourselves is why we have a discussion about, well, this is what's happened to me. What for you was the most difficult life? Let's move into when life got more interesting from a listener's perspective, I suppose.
When did life get interesting? You know, it's funny that you asked me that, because I've actually been very recently trying to pinpoint, not the exact moment, but around about when life did start getting interesting for me. And I'm going to say that it was around about the time, if not the time, that I got pregnant when I was 16. And it was just before I started year 12.
Yep.
So I went from being the A+ star student to being pregnant and starting year 12 with a baby in my belly that I had no intention of keeping. So everything went pretty shits up after that. Yeah. And I think I had already started disassociating myself from various, let's call them micro traumas in my life. And that right there, that time is when I think I fully developed an almost unhealthy ability to completely disconnect myself from major trauma or events in my life. And I went, okay, real too hard basket, get the baby out, not talk to anyone about that, and move on.
It didn't happen.
And pretend it never happened. And
were you in a relationship?
Was. Yes, but it was a relationship that I wasn't supposed to be in. Because it was a boy that he was the love of my life, the first love that I loved from when I was 14 years old. And then my best friend started going out with him, kind of took off with him. And we were never together, me and this boy, but everyone knew that we were best friends and that he was like my, we were supposed to go to bed together, and he was like my best friend. And we were always going to end up together. And then the best friend came home from camp one day and said, I like him and I'm going to go out with him. Sounds very stupid teenage stuff.
But it was real.
But it was really traumatic for me. And then they dated for a long time. They were together for 2 years. They split up and me and him got together finally. And very shortly after that, I got pregnant. So no one at school really even knew that we were boyfriend, girlfriend yet, because, you can't date your best friend's man.
Totally.
So it was all very hush-hush, and I never told my parents about it. I never told my mum about it. I told my best friend at school at the time, and obviously the guy that I was seeing, and I told the school counsellor instead of my mother.
Wow.
And I didn't tell my mum because I was terrified of my dad.
Yep.
Yeah, and I went from, like I said, being the star student to now I'm a stoner. And I'm getting stoned and skipping class and going to my mate's house at lunchtime to smoke weed. And I spent most of year 12 stoned out of my brains.
Do you find that for you was just the fastest way to escape?
Yeah, I don't think I even knew what I was doing at the time. Yeah, it was just, and I never put the 2 and 2 together until I was a lot older. I'm like, oh, wow, I became a stoner right around the time that happened to me. And because I was a bit of a square, people were getting pierced at parties and doing this and that. And
you didn't fit in that space.
Really want to do any of that stuff.
Yeah.
I was also a year younger than everyone at school. When I started year 10, I was only 14 years old. And that is young.
See, to me too, if we go back to what we've been talking about, fitting for you as a woman, you didn't fit as a woman in your family because you live in a boy family with two different families. And then we send you to an all-girls school when you come here.
No, it was a co-ed school.
So, but girls, when you came here.
Oh, the girls, I wasn't friend. They weren't nice to me.
Yeah. So again, female fitting in, you don't fit.
No.
You didn't feel like you fitted, which is a real safe place. And so again, you've got men or older brothers that made you feel safe. They are, but in the real world, you didn't feel safe.
Right.
That's the feeling I kind of get when you're talking about that.
Yeah.
So it means that now you're trying to work out where you go. So even in a party, like, I don't feel safe here.
Yeah.
So weed is great because you go, that feels better. I'll just chillax.
Yeah, that's right. I'm just going to get stoned all the time. So
You said micro traumas without having to unpack everything. When I talk about trauma, we always have like a feeling that you felt, whether it could be, again, it could be not safe, it could be confused, it could be alone, it could be I didn't fit, it could be something. Is there a word that comes to mind?
a word?
Like a feeling. It's like, I didn't feel important, I didn't feel seen, I didn't feel listened to, I didn't feel.
I was scared. I was always scared.
So it's confidence.
And moving from New Zealand to Australia when I was young really majorly affected me. And yeah, when I say micro traumas, I guess I mean events in my life that happened that really affected my trajectory in life. And that was a big one, because a big part of why that was so big was because my two older brothers, my protectors, stayed in New Zealand.
Wow.
So we moved over here, the little nuclear family.
Yeah.
Mum, dad, me, my brother.
Yeah, so now
and
you've
my
got the real
protectors
family.
stayed over in New Zealand. And,
How old were you then?
I was 11.
11.
So that was a big event.
Well, it's almost like you go from feeling like you've got, it's like not a blankie, but something around you that's protecting you, like that shell or something.
Yeah.
That you come here, not only you're so far away, you're so exposed. That's the word I want, exposed. That's the feeling. So exposed is like everything's scary. Everything's like, I can't do it by myself. I've got no check-in. I've got no backup. I've got nothing to fall into.
I really felt very alone because I had a good relationship with my brother, the one that's just part of the nuclear family, for want of a better word. But things changed between him and I also when we moved here.
Yeah.
Because all of a sudden he's in year 9 and I was in grade 6 and we were at a very fancy school and he got a lot of shit when he moved here. He got teased, he got bullied really badly. And I got a bit bullied.
Yeah.
But I kind of got the benefit of only having to deal with that for 6 months. And then all of a sudden I was in year 7. So I went into the high school of the private school, but went into the high school section and I kind of started year 7. And a lot of new people started. Yeah. And so I kind of got to start high school, whereas my brother got chucked in year 9. Yeah. And that kind of cracked us because he was, had a very different experience and he wasn't as dependent on my big brothers because they gave him a lot of shit as well. So he was probably happy to be away from them.
Well, I suppose too, he's used to kind of fighting for his life.
Yeah.
With your brothers, and now he's also again fighting for his life at school. Do you know what I mean? So then you're going through a whole different experience because you would look to him to go, hey, come and keep me safe. And he'd be like, fuck no, I'm fighting for my life.
Yeah, that's right.
We don't do this.
Yeah.
So you're like, well, obviously there's a connection, but it's not the same. It wasn't the same.
Yeah. And I imagine my mum was really unhappy too because she came here and she had no friends. She lost all of her relationships in New Zealand. She never got in with the private school mums. You know, my mum's not like that. And Dad was just working all the time. He was never home.
Yeah, so it's a real lonely experience.
Yeah, so I think everyone was alone. I think the whole household, it was like 4 separate people living in this house.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, in 4 different, 4 different worlds.
Well, it's like no one belongs.
No.
So you come home and no one belongs. So you just do your own thing. That totally makes sense.
Yeah.
So again, exposed is there's no safe place for you. So we already spoke about that feeling when you're little.
Yeah.
Was really necessary for you. You've got the opposite.
Yeah.
Yeah. What happened next?
Jeez. Well, I just kept getting stoned, didn't I? So I did it. I do everything to excess. So it's like when I started partying, I partied harder than anyone. And it's like, okay, if you're going to be a stoner, you're not just going to smoke a joint on a Saturday night. You're going to get stoned every single day. all day from the minute you wake up in the morning until you go to bed at night, to the point where you ended up borderline psychosis and put myself in rehab because for weed. And now you can't get addicted to marijuana. That's bullshit.
Yeah.
Because I was 100%. It was my world. And if I didn't have it in my house, I would lose it. So I think that's when my addictions really started, was with weed. And they just continued. For my whole life, I've just been swapping them out. Yeah, because I didn't, then all of a sudden I went to rehab and it's no more weed. I did a good solid 5-6 years of being a full-blown stoner.
Yeah. And
then chuck ecstasy, cocaine, acid, mushrooms, any other drug that you can into the mix. It was
part of you.
I was just partying, everyone was partying.
Did you feel emotionally just detached at the time, or angry or frustrated or not care, or?
I just did not care. I had no self-worth. Yeah, I did not care about myself.
So you think in a way it was not just the party scene, it was the self-destructive scene?
100% self-destruction, yeah.
Because you didn't know where you fitted. I mean, it's going to be a lot of things, really.
I don't really know.
You just didn't know how to stop it, maybe.
I just kept telling myself that I wasn't doing anything wrong because everyone's popping pills on the weekend and going out partying, and I've got all my best friends and we're all doing it. But I was doing it
more.
Yeah. I was doing it like, okay, we're going to go out this weekend. And yeah, everyone would stay out till 6 a.m. Mm-hmm. But then people would go home. But I would go, okay, let's get more drugs and let's keep doing it. And keep going and going and going and going, and then go to work on Monday morning on no sleep for 48 hours. But I had a real good job and I was always
you're
functioning.
Achieving part of you and determination to present to the world like you're a super functioning adult.
Yeah, and everyone's like, wow, how does she do it? Kata's the ultimate party animal. And I was revered for it.
Yes.
Oh, wow, look at her. How can she?
It's like your superpower.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly. It was like wore it as a badge of honor almost.
When did you want to start exploring at that time for you? I can't stop this, or I want to stop this. Like, why did you put yourself in rehab?
Because I lost control of my mind, and I've always been a very strong thinker. I've always been very self-analytical, and I've kind of pride myself in having a pretty good relationship with myself, and I know where I want to be and what I refuse to put up with. And I was the high achiever in me, never going to be the little person living on the streets, drug addict, fucked in the head, losing my mind. And I could tell that's where I was heading.
Yeah, things were starting to
Yeah, I was like, okay, I'm scared. I was getting really paranoid, and I was scared. I was scared of everyone and everything. And I think there was a point where I went to the city and I was really wasted, stoned out of my brains. And this is when the psychosis was kind of starting to kick in for me. And anyone that's going to smoke that much weed. I mean, I was smoking like an ounce every 3 days or something, which is an extreme amount of pot.
Yeah.
And I went to the city and I was too scared. When you go to the train station, it shows you like all the times of the trains. Yep. And you look up on the board to look what platform your train's on and what time it is. And I couldn't see my train up there, which is normal, right? It means it's coming later. It's not on the screen yet. Yeah. I thought in my brain, that's it. Like,
there were no trains.
There's no trains. I freaked out, and I was too scared to walk up to the man at the counter and ask him what platform my train's on and when's the next train. So instead of doing that, going and talking to someone and asking them, I just decided to start walking home from the city to Glenway Wheels.
Wow, which is for people probably 40Ks, 35Ks.
Yeah, it's like a good 2-3 hour walk if you're walking fast.
Yeah. Wow.
So I started walking home because I was too scared to talk to the train man.
When did you check yourself to go, what the fuck is this?
Well, I went and saw a psychiatrist.
Yeah.
And she said to me, if you don't stop smoking pot, you are going to go into full-blown psychosis and you're probably never going to come out of it. And I said, where can I go to help me stop smoking pot? And she said, you can go to this clinic. So I did that.
Were people worried about you in your family and that had they noticed the cracks?
I don't think so. No.
Almost kind of a surprise to people that you jumped into rehab?
I think so. And at this point, my parents were living back in New Zealand.
Yeah.
So I don't think my mum had any idea that I was going that way. Sometimes my timelines get a bit messed up, but because, I was fucking wasted back then.
Yeah.
But no one really knew except me and Simon, actually.
Yeah.
Probably knew. Well, he knew because he was my partner at the time.
At the time, yeah.
So no one knew how bad it was except really me because I was really good at hiding
it's like the real close.
Really, really good at compartmentalizing and presenting myself a certain way to the world.
Well, that's your superpower. That's probably what's got you through a long journey with addiction, which is probably the best and worst thing in lots of ways because it keeps you safe, which is that it keeps you safe in a practice that it's almost not killing me, so I can nearly kind of do it until you get the bomb that shocks you out of your situation and you really have to deal with it, which is probably a blessing at times, even seeing that person. And maybe that's something for you that's been mentioned more than once. It's like, you're going to die if you keep going this way. And so that checkpoint, it's like the chess game that you're matched out. So you have to then go and do something different. But then we seem to do the circle again.
Yes.
And then we do the same checkpoint. And then we have to, we go through the same things, which we'll get to. How were you different after rehab? Like what happened?
Well, I felt like I was back to being like my 15-year-old self.
Okay.
Like just clear mind and my confidence came back. The paranoia was gone. And all of a sudden I was like, I'm getting singing lessons. I'm getting back into like trying to get into theater groups. And so then I was writing and reading and I was,
a passion for being present and a passion for living came back.
Yeah, 100%. And I was like going to
opposed to a passion for partying. Nice.
Oh, I was still partying. I just wasn't smoking pot. Yeah. So because it was only one thing at a time that I had a problem with. Don't worry about all the other shit that you're doing. Because weed is your problem, right? Not the taking ecstasy every weekend or like donking acid and doing magic mushrooms. Because I'm still out over here partying, right?
So found a way to do it. So for you, it was, okay, I'm just going to deal with the thing that's going to kill me, but I'm going to keep my lifestyle in order.
Yeah, I've got to keep partying and being me, but it's only that one thing that I have a problem with, the weed.
Yeah.
And if I can get a control on the weed and not smoke the weed,
you won't die.
Then everything else is going to be fine and I can still keep being the superhero that parties all weekend and then goes to work on Monday.
And that's kind of where your friends were.
Yeah.
That's where you fitted.
Yeah.
Which again, when we go into it's my safe place and I fit.
Yeah.
Because you're like, I'm protected in a place that probably may or may not be safe, but it's I don't care that I'm not protected. So in so many ways, I feel safe because this is my story I've created for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. What happened next?
Jeez, what happened next?
Well, it's like in that journey of, I suppose, the one self-destructive bit to, were you happy?
I don't know if I've ever been happy. It's funny because I actually, in my little path of self-realization lately, I decided the other night, I'm cleaning out my stuff because I'm moving in. And I always knew that I had all my journals, right? So that I've written since I was like 14 years old right up till when I was like 25. This is like writing almost every day kind of journals. There were periods when I didn't write, mainly when I was a big time stoner. And where was I going with this?
I said we're happy.
Oh, yes. So in reading my journals, I've realized how incredibly unhappy I was. And so I've always known that I always said I've always had issues. It's kind of like my joke, I'm Kata, chick, I've got problems. Like I've always made a bit of a joke about it. But reading back on things like right from when I'm 13, 14 years old, and there's no better way to figure out how you're feeling about something at a certain time in your life than to read your own words about certain situations. Because you have to trust what you wrote.
And you read between the lines now. You see exactly what's going
all
on.
of it. And I was very unhappy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And really lonely.
It's such a powerful insight. Lonely. That's
really lonely.
I get that feeling too. It's like you belonged because people, they looked after you, but they didn't necessarily want you to be you, as in, it's not, I just don't love you because of you. I'm going to love you because I look after you, being your brother or all of that. So no one's actually meeting you equally to let you be who you are.
And everyone always felt more important to me than I'm sure they felt towards me.
Yeah.
So it's like, that's my best friend. Like, I will ride or die for that person. Like, I'm going to go in and I'm going to fight.
That's how I keep.
Like, you're my mates and I'll do anything for you. And I never afforded myself that. I never rode or died for myself. It was for everyone around me. And no one had that for me. Yeah. And I was always wondering why I've got all these best friends that I love so much. And I'm the one that's ringing them all the time. And I'm the one that's organizing things all the time. And I'm the one, let's keep the group together. Let's do this. Let's do that.
And you're so lonely.
And I was so lonely. Yeah. And no one, I was always so proud of myself for having all these really close friends, my best friends. But they weren't.
Yeah. They were your, what you do
and you
on
know
a weekend
what?
Friends.
They're all gone now, Mel.
Yeah.
None of them are around anymore.
Yeah. Because they're not, it's not the true connect.
Because if you really want to hang out with me, where's your phone call? Yeah. You know, it was me always giving my heart to everyone. And I think that was just me I just wanted to not feel alone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's
so I created everyone as this big, massive group of friends that are like my best friends. I've got so many best friends. And it was just to fill a space.
It's the busy bubble.
That's right.
It's like just a busy life bubble.
Yeah.
But it's not anything to do with connecting to who we are.
No, I was the last
distraction.
Person. It was a massive distraction and I was last on the list of people to care about.
Oh, yeah, totally.
And I was so mean to myself. So mean to myself.
Yeah.
If someone talked to me the way I talked to myself, up until very recently, I would slap them in the face and tell them to fuck off.
Yeah. I remember saying that to abusive relationship with yourself. And that's nothing changes until we recognize that before you can't even deal with that until you can see it.
Yeah.
And you can hear it.
Yeah.
And that's the space, that we talk about, the magic space to pause and to just the same kind of as reading your diaries. What the fuck is happening? Like, what is a narrative that I'm speaking to myself? And we get so many answers in there. What was the next part of your story? Because that's a pretty self-destructive. Where did that take you?
Well, I mean, I spent a long time in self-destruction. I was very promiscuous. That was a big thing. And sex, that was another way to make people like me. So, and I put myself in a lot of really bad situations with men, really bad and dangerous at times as well. And
does it make sense to you looking back?
And again, it all comes back to loneliness. I always was seeking someone
to want me,
choose me. And I would just shag anyone, and then I'd be like, why am I doing this? Because I don't even like this person. Yeah. So why am I doing it? Yeah. Like, I'm not getting anything out of it.
But it just means that I can tick the box that says that they like
me. That's right.
They want me for some reason.
And it all comes back to relationships with men. And it's the age-old, you got daddy issues.
Yeah, totally. But if you look at your men in your life and your beautiful brothers as well, but for you, so it's not that anyone does anything right or wrong, but your truth and the facts are you wanted them to choose you. And that's what made you feel special and seen and alive and protected and looked after and safe. So we just mirror that behavior when we don't understand ourselves. So it's like, fuck, I want you to choose me. What do I need to do for that? So sex is absolutely up there on the list when it comes to that.
Yeah. And I think as well, sex is a weird thing for me because I went from I got a lot of shit at school for being the frigid bitch, is what they used to call me, the frigid chick, which kind of makes sense because I was a year younger than everyone else. So when I'm going into year 10 and I'm 14 and they're finger banging at the party on the trampoline, I'm like, whoa.
What is
Also, I've got brothers and I don't want boys to touch me.
Yeah.
So I went from being the frigid girl to, okay, well, I'm going to lose my virginity when I'm 15. I flipped it right over and did a 180. And then it was then you're the high school slut.
Yeah.
because you had sex with someone.
Yeah.
And that was before I even got pregnant. So,
But
think
also
there's-
is a power. There's power
Yeah.
in sex in ways that you can use it as a way to make people want you or like you, or you can manipulate a
Yeah.
situation. And again, it makes people feel safe.
yeah. And I think a big element of sex for me was self-destruction as
You
well,
didn't-
because I
yeah.
had no self-worth. So
Yeah.
use my body, have my body. I don't give a shit what you do to it. You know, you don't have to respect me. I don't give a shit. I have no respect for myself.
Yeah, it's like
So whatever, let's fuck in the toilet at the nightclub, you know, because
Yeah.
I'm shit-faced and who gives a shit,
yeah, might as well.
you know. And do I want to see you tomorrow? No, I don't give a fuck about you because now I've got the power, right?
Yeah, it's
Because I don't need to hang out with you. Fuck you.
Yeah. Yeah. It shifts it back
Yeah.
to be
It
like,
was like, well,
okay,
he wants me and I don't want him anymore. And yeah, okay, let's bang in the bathroom and never talk about it again.
Yeah.
You know, and bang all my mates in my best friend group.
yeah.
Let's just sleep with all of them,
Yeah.
all the guys that are all friends.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's continue being on the narrative that I'm slut, you know, because everyone thinks that anyway.
Yeah.
So fuck it.
It's like
Part of
annoying.
Kata, she's the party animal. She'll fuck whoever moves.
Yeah.
Yeah. So a real lack of respect for myself. Yeah. I was like, well, I'm a piece of shit, so I may as well act like it.
What shifted for you?
Oh, I got pregnant again. That changed everything.
Mm.
Yeah. Changed everything in a way that I didn't want it to, because I wasn't ready to change.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was in self-destruction like heaven at that point.
Yeah. It's like, this is how my life is
Yeah.
going to be.
I was
hard and
like,
fast.
I am just going to keep
Hard and-
fucking everything up as well. You know what actually changed before I got pregnant, which was a pretty major event, was my dad died.
Yeah.
So after Dad died, that's when I went into full-blown, my ultimate self-destruction, because now I've got a really good excuse, right,
Yeah,
to
okay.
be fucked. And now I don't need to be good at my job anymore, because I can tell my job that my dad just died and I've got all sorts of mental problems. Now I can rock up late. I can stay out all night. I can start fucking everything up.
It gave you a ticket.
Yeah, here's your free ticket. Well, she's got issues, you know. Her dad died.
She's not coping.
Yeah, she's not coping, so let's just let her do anything she wants.
Coping emotionally in life, saying, hey, I need support. It's more, I've got the ticket of grief that can actually allow me to not take even more or less responsibility for myself. I can now go, fuck it.
And there was always an excuse, because by this point, my dad's very sick, right? And he's not sick in a diagnosed way. He's mentally unstable. And I lived in that house with him, very sick. Jeez, man, just jumping all over the place here. But he lost his job and he went downhill really quickly and was basically popping left, right and centre various different antidepressants and things like that. So he was fucked in the head. And cut a long story short, you know, him and Mum separated. He moved over to Scotland. So sweet, I don't need to see my dad anymore. He's moved away. Fuck him, he's gone. And he died all alone over there by himself. And I hadn't seen him or spoken to him for 2 years. So of course I'm already starting this narrative with my job, right? And my friends and everyone around me, and in my own head, more importantly, my dad's fucked in the head. He's lost the plot. He's sick. I've got daddy issues. I'm going to use all of that.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to keep building up my excuse to self-destruct, because now here's another ticket. Sweet, dad's sick. Chuck that on the pile of excuses, right? Yeah. Daddy problems. Like now, sweet, he's almost given me a better excuse because he was already a fuckwit, right? Now he's fucked and he's a psycho.
Yeah.
So after he died, I'd already kind of planted the seed with work. Like, oh, my dad's not well. He lives overseas. My mum's like here, there. They just split up. I was very alone. My parents moved overseas when I was 18 years old. They fucked off back to New Zealand, which I was not all grown up by then.
Yeah.
I was not at all ready to be on my own then.
Self-responsible.
Yeah. But she's finished school. She's 18. Dad lost his job. We're going to move to New Zealand because now he's got a new job.
Wow.
So, God, I'm just going all over the place.
But it's true, but it's the same theme. And it's not to, not that you can go wherever you need to go, but it's they're not safe. And now we've got abandonment in there.
Oh, yeah.
You know, because again, probably the abandonment when you moved here and your brothers weren't with you
Yeah.
actually creates a place of trying to fill that void. And now again, you've got double abandonment. So you're trying to get people to love you and feel that, but no one's real. Everyone's fake in your life, if that makes sense, because you're in the party set. It's party cutter. And party cutters as a magnet is only going to attract party people.
That's right.
No one's real. They're just not real.
No.
Or connected in any way, shape or form.
Yeah.
We knew each other around that time. We didn't start working together till later.
Well,
Probably around your dad died.
No, it was before my dad died, long before. We started working together when you were pregnant with Sam. Yeah.
Easy.
No, well, that's when I met you, when you were pregnant with Sam.
Yeah.
And that was long before Dad died. Yeah. Long before.
Interesting.
And even then I was seeking help from
Well,
you.
it's trying to find how you stop without having to actually not choose it. It's like we want the magic one that makes it better without having to do the work that makes it better. It's really
part of the reason why I started seeing you was when I was a full-blown stoner. Yeah. And it was to try and understand how to get out of that and get my brain, like the little grade A plus student back. Because I was right on the cusp, you know. I was so young when I met you. I'd only been fucked up for a couple of years.
It's been a long journey.
It's been a long journey. It has been a long journey. But yeah. So Dad died, and and at the time I had such a bad relationship with him, and I hadn't spoken to him in such a long time, and I had convinced myself that I hate this man and he's never been anything good for me in my life, and I'm not going to grieve him, and I'm not going to be sad about him dying. And there was a good month there where I actually thought he'd killed himself. So, and he was in Scotland. So we had to go and deal with that in Scotland after he died. I was on a plane a week later. Two of my brothers didn't come with me. My oldest brother, funnily, is the one that came with me, the half brother.
Yeah.
Right?
Not related to that.
Yeah, my blood brother, 3 years older, the nuclear family brother, he didn't come.
Yeah.
And my other brother, which kind of made sense, the other one didn't come.
Yeah. Because
he and my dad hated each other.
Yeah.
But it was really traumatic not to have.
Yes.
Like
your brother.
My brother there, because this is he was
your dad.
And he was the closest with my dad. He's the only one that really liked my dad and had a real proper relationship. So that was another major trauma to go and have to deal with that, because it's hard enough flying to the other side of the world, let alone having to do it under those circumstances and the whole time thinking, I fucking hate this man. And he is
Well, you've not got answers then.
No, there's no answers. It's like he is sick and now he's dead.
Yeah.
And there's no coming back from that.
No.
There's no conversations to be had when I get older and I can sit down with him and find out what happened to you. And and I really put myself through the ringer, because like I do things in extremes. So I had to go, and I had to be the first day, and I had to go see his body off the plane to see the body. I forced myself into very confronting situations, because
you do things without thinking.
Well, I don't think
you don't see the big picture. You just go, fuck it.
I'm very reactive, and if something happens, I want answers now. If I'm pissed off with someone, I want to have a conversation about it now. If someone pisses me off, I don't want space to go and think about it. Very impulsive.
So it's like when we talk about sitting in the space to see, it's like even seeing me probably in the early days, it's like, I just want to be better.
Yeah, fix me.
Yes. And it's like, well, this isn't the space where anyone can fix you. This is the space where we hold the space for you to take the time to read the diaries. So all the threads of what you're working on kind of come up to the surface, like things come up for you to then pull the threads to go, wow, this is, it's like me being responsible for me without using other people as an excuse, is me being allowed to be just me, not me with brothers that look after me or people that protect me. It's like I'm allowed to actually fix it for myself. And I remember in doing work with you, even that line to go, fuck, what do you mean that I can get the job that pays my rent by myself, or that this, that? And it's like those milestones of really stepping into your power, I think has been the slow shift. It's like the building blocks on the side that's been happening. Little bits of Lego that you're like, you've chosen this, you're even having a baby, or all the little things that you've chosen, you're building your life on the side. And all of a sudden, now when we look at it, you're like, I see it now. Now I can step into that. Yet you were building it, but you're still living in the mess.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's like
100%.
Whereas now it's like, I'm never living in the mess again.
No, I'm never living in the mess
again.
ever again.
Tell me about your, I'm at the having a baby bit.
Yes, let's go to the having the baby. So I was still coming off the tail end of my dad dying. This is, mind you, 4 years later, but I'm still gallivanting around. Now I've been through all sorts of other fucked up relationships by this point, and I decided it's a good idea to just get the hell out of Australia. So when my mum was living in America by this point, decided to go spend a few months with mum in America, meet the new stepfather, and also a major stoner. But hey, he's cool because he plays the guitar and he smokes weed. So yay, love him. And then moved to London. And originally I was going to go to Scotland. And a big part of the reason why I wanted to particularly go to Scotland was to kind of, I guess, reconnect with my dad. Yeah. Because just going to his funeral and seeing his dead body and doing all of that wasn't enough closure for me. It's like I had to go back to the homeland on some kind of journey.
Now you're trying to get a feeling.
Yeah.
Before you just got.
But I never quite made it to Scotland. And I ended up in London. I moved in with a friend, one of my party friends, of course, big time party friend, bestie from way back, who had been living in London for a long time. And moved in with him because he's got a good job and I don't have to pay rent and I get to live in a house in London because I'm done with the boyfriend in Kent whose country house is with the parents. I'm sick of living in the countryside with the boyfriend that I went to London to meet. So I'm going to go move to London with the mate who's loaded and has an endless supply of cocaine, this guy, right?
Nice.
Yeah, because he's the high roller, he's got the cash and lives in a nice pad in one of the coolest parts of London, and we're going to get on the Charlie all the time and I don't even have to pay rent. So this is great. And he's always had the hots for me, this guy too, so I can fucking wheel and deal him so easy. Got him wrapped around my little finger. I don't have to buy drinks
you're
for
like
myself.
the fairy godmother going,
I don't have to do anything. Look, hot little cat is going to come live with you and walk around in my bra and you're going to pay my rent and fucking buy me drugs and alcohol.
And this will be fun.
Yeah, and this will be fun. And not attracted to him at all. No interest in him. But inevitably, you're friends with benefits. You end up shagging the roommate because you fucked on coke.
Yeah.
And that's how you deal with things and you make people like you is through sex. Yeah. So I'm going to have to put it up. I'm going to have to let it go at some point. This is how I pay for my life, like a prostitute, basically. No respect for myself.
Yeah.
And we end up pregnant.
Yeah.
And pregnant and me in full-blown party car and not ready to be a mum at all.
Yeah.
At all. Not ready to be a mum.
It was a massive life bomb moment.
It was massive.
Yeah.
Immediately, the minute I found out I was pregnant, there was no question that I was having this baby. I was having the baby. There was no question about it. And I didn't even think about the consequences of where that was going to take me or how I was going to end up. He was my little person in me and my whole world changed.
I think it's like, for me, feeling I get when you say that, it's like someone is going to love me now. It's like a connection.
I think
like you're looking for a connection for anyone to be yours.
I don't know if it was that. I think for me at the time, it was like, I can't do that again. As in have an abortion again, because last time that happened to me, that's when I went from being grade A perfect student in my mind at the time, which is probably wrong because I was very unhappy before that even happened. But in my mind, I connected it with, if I don't have this baby, I am going to die. It's going to kill me because now I've got another reason, right? Now I've had another abortion. Now I'm really going to fuck myself right up.
So again, it's like that checkmate moment in your life where your life meets you.
Yeah.
And here's the fork. You either die or you stay.
Well, I knew that if I didn't keep him, I would die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, absolutely makes sense.
Yeah.
So
because, let's throw that on the mix. And that's it.
It was It's the 2 parts.
Well, I was already in full-blown self-destruction mode at this point, doing way too many drugs and on a complete spiral out of control. I wasn't at this point holding down any kind of job. I was relying on the roommate to help me out. I was kind of pretending to run my own business, doing remedial therapy, which was bullshit. I wasn't doing anything.
Well, this is like your rehab check-in.
Yeah.
Being pregnant.
Yeah, that's right. But it's funny though, because you know what? The night that I found out, the day I found out I was pregnant, I decided that weekend, even though I say that I knew without question I was going to keep this baby. I did a real good job of trying to get rid of this baby, but not me do it.
Yeah, totally get that.
So I'm like, okay, on the weekend, okay, I'm going to donk acid. I'm going to snort a shitload of coke. I'm going to fucking drink as much as is humanly possible. I'm going to slam bottles of wine. I'm not pouring them in the glass anymore. I am sculling red wine out of the bottle. And I am stumbling around. I am sitting on the edge of we had this, we lived on the terrace houses.
Yeah.
And at this point, we'd moved out of the flash pad in London. We'd moved into our own little other pad. And we were on the second floor. And we were very lucky enough to have the floor below us had like an extended lounge room. So that was their roof, but it was our balcony, basically. So we could climb out the window and sit on their roof. And that was our, in London, we've got an outside terrace, had no fencing. It was completely unsafe, just a slab of concrete very high up. And I decided that night it would be a really good idea to go and dance around up there. And I sat on, I was like, I'm fucked. I'm climbing through the window, could barely even get through the window. And I was sitting on the edge, right on the edge, dangling on the edge, looking down, swaying around. Like if I had fallen, I would have died. So I was trying to kill myself at this point.
Totally.
Without really realizing it. And because if I don't die, then I have to be a mum, right?
Yes.
And now I can't be a fucking stoner anymore. Yeah. I'm not a stoner. I can't be
anything.
I can't be anything.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to have to snap out of it and I'm going to have to get my shit together really fast. Yeah. So it's either die, because I was never going to kill myself. I was going to do a really good job of trying to get myself killed. And, I ended up falling down the stairs, fell down 3 flights of stairs that night, ended up in the hospital. I escaped the hospital that night because I was on acid. Yeah. So there's no telling me I escaped while they were trying to literally tie me down. So that's how I dealt with becoming pregnant. That was my initial reaction was, well, okay, I now have to become an entirely different person and be a responsible mother, or I need to die. Yeah. And so I went through all of that night, and then I still was like, well, I have to keep this baby. I have to keep this baby. The whole time I was pregnant, I wanted this baby to not be there, but I wasn't going to abort it myself. I just kept hoping something would happen to me. Okay, well, I did a whole bunch of drugs that first night that I got pregnant, so maybe he will die somehow. And the father at the time, we kind of agreed, well, we're going to keep the baby, and he was kind of teary and, we're going to keep the baby. And at first he was like, oh, wow,
it's like happily ever after.
I got Kata, that chick.
Yeah.
I got her. Yeah. Now she's locked in with me for life. Yeah. Like she's not going anywhere now. And he came back to Australia and had a holiday, and he came home from a holiday. And by this point, I'm now 11 weeks pregnant by the time he gets back from the holiday. 11 weeks is pretty far along. Now, bear in mind, when I had the first abortion, I was 13 weeks pregnant, because I had to wait for my parents to go to Europe for me to have it. So I just stayed pregnant for 3 months because I was young and I had no idea that that meant anything at the time. But this time I'm like, I'm 11 weeks, and he comes home and says, I can't do it. I don't want to be a dad. I'm not ready. We've still got time. So I went, okay, right. Well then, I've heard the heartbeat at this point. I've had my first ultrasound. I'm buying little baby books, and I've told people by this point that I'm having a baby. This is not a secret.
Yeah.
This is people know. My mum knows, my friends know. It's too late to make that decision.
I'm on this side.
But I went off to the abortion clinic anyway because, he asked me to, right? Because he couldn't deal with it. So I went, okay, well, he doesn't want it. So
again, it's someone else making a decision for you.
So let's give all the power to him and him tell me
what to do.
Meanwhile, I had another person back here in Australia also telling me well, we were supposed to have a baby together and you were the love of my life and I've done this and that for you. And how can you have a baby? Now that was our plan. We were going to have a family and now you're having a family with someone else and I'll never talk to you again.
So
and
the
I'm
belonging thing's totally blown up again.
Yeah, that love of my life that I ran away from and moved overseas.
Yeah.
God, we haven't even talked about him.
Yeah.
Geez, that's a whole lot of story. I doesn't even go into him. So I had that in the back of my head too. Well, I've now lost this man who was going to protect me and
the safe. Yeah.
Yeah, the safe man. So I went to the abortion clinic and I sat in the little room and I was the only one in that room, I felt like. And even the father of my baby said this to me when we left there. You're the only one that looked miserable, like shaking, miserable. And I got all the way to the legs in stirrups point and I got injected with the you're going to go to sleep in 10 seconds, the whole thing. And something in me, my baby boy screamed at me.
It's like, when I do
from God knows where he came from. And I knew he was a him and he screamed at me and I don't know what he said. And I sat bolt upright as I'm falling asleep from the anesthesia and said, don't do this. Please don't do this to me. I don't want this. I don't want this. And then I fell asleep and I woke up an hour later saying, did you guys do it? Did you do it? Did you do it? And they said, no, of course not. You told us not to. We think you need counselling. And I was like, no, you can take me back in now. You need to take me back in and finish it. Like, I don't know what I was saying. And they were like, no, we can't. Like, we can't.
Yeah, because you're so undecided.
Because you have no idea what you're doing. So then,
such a sliding doors moment.
It was.
Gonna die, gonna live and have a baby.
Yeah, and that's exactly what it was. And I don't know what happened to me in that moment, but I will remember it clear as day.
Forever.
It's
literally, to me, it's like a timeline shift. There you go, hey, I'm going to either be in this timeline or this timeline.
Yeah.
And you woke up in this timeline.
And he saved my life. He saved my life.
Absolutely.
And I have no doubt in my mind that it was him talking to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, in whatever
form
he was in.
Well, it's like we can do this.
Yeah.
It's like we can do this life this way.
Like, don't do this. Because I think if I had, like I said, I would be dead.
It would make sense.
I wouldn't have survived.
Because you didn't like yourself anyway. So
No.
What are you living for? It gives us a reason to make better choices. It gives us a reason to start somewhere. And that's what we need. We need people that are going to inspire us to even make a choice that is this much better than it was yesterday. And kids are amazing at pulling us along in that way, because we mightn't fight for us, but we fight for them. And that's the beginning of finding even a little voice for us, because we're going to fight for our kids more than we fight for us.
Yeah.
Which ultimately we want to have our voice for ourselves, but you don't wake up and have that. And as we know in your story, just that moment changed so many things, but then didn't change everything.
No, it definitely didn't, because I would love to be that woman that said,
my story ended there.
This moment happened and I was pregnant and then all of my problems were solved
Like
and I became the perfect mother and everything was great. No, that's not right.
The next 30 seconds could change your life. If you want to take the next step to work with Mel, go to Mel Ryan 100% you on your Facebook or Instagram and direct message her the word work. From here, Mel's team will help direct you to what you need. You may want to explore at your own pace, or you might be ready to dive right in. No matter where you're at, Mel has the tools and programs in place to help you, support you. Mel Ryan, 100% you.
I was still smoking ciggies here and there when I was pregnant. I was drinking wine, not as much, but I was still having a glass or two a night. And I was still party cutter and I was still fighting against this new life that I was expected to now start living. Meanwhile, I'm with a man who I never loved, who I was just banging for some fun, who's still out on the coke and having parties every night at our house and bringing all his mates around till 5 a.m. I'm pregnant, in bed. It wasn't an environment that was very conducive to, I'm going to go buy the house and have a nursery. It was a fucking nightmare.
Yeah,
it was a nightmare.
The movie version that we would like to create.
No, it was a total shit show. And I was in London. I didn't have any of my friends around me. My mum was in America. I was alone again. I'm alone now. And now I'm alone and I can't escape anymore because I can't I did the acid and the coke that first night. Can't be doing that. I might have a sneaky glass of wine and a cheeky sickie here and there.
Yeah.
I can reconcile that in my brain, but I'm not going to go snort lines when I've actively decided to keep a baby.
Yeah.
Like maybe not that self-destructive.
Yeah. Well, you were protecting someone else. And as you said, you were the one that went in and fought for everyone else. So now you're fighting for this one.
Yeah.
So you can do that.
So it was a very difficult pregnancy. It was very unwanted, but yet so wanted and needed. It was such a weird juxtaposition for my brain because I felt like I was split personalities because half of me was so excited and happy about being pregnant and having a baby. And the other half of me was so fucking angry that I'd gotten myself in this situation. And now I have to have a baby with this guy. And I knew when that decision was made that I was going to end up as a single mum.
Yeah, totally.
We were never going to go off into the countryside
together. You didn't have
together.
anyone that was keeping you safe.
No.
Going to look after you in any capacity.
No.
That's not the feeling that you ever got from him.
No. And he was still bringing drugs into our house and still getting wasted and still he never touched my belly once. He did not give a shit. I went from being party fun Kata hot chick that I finally managed to bang to, oh, fuck. Now
you're a liability.
That's right. She's destroyed my life now because it's her that did this, right? I had no active part in it. It was her that got pregnant and decided to keep it. And now she's going to fuck my perfect coke fucking high rolling job up in London and I'm going to have to move back to Australia. It's going to fuck my whole life up.
Yeah.
And I took that. And it was my fault.
Yeah.
And I destroyed his life. And that's how I saw it. Well, I've ruined his life and he's going to hate me forever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it was all blame. Everything was me. It was all my fault. Everything was always my fault.
Well, absolutely.
Yeah. But we came back to Australia. I came back alone. I came back on the plane by myself. One of the best plane rides ever, by the way. Highly recommend traveling pregnant. I was like, didn't carry my bags, didn't have to look after my passport. I got a whole row to myself. They bought me like endless meals and water bottles.
Like, oh my God, I've been tucked in.
First class. It was great. But I got back to Australia very, very heavily pregnant. I think I waited to the week before I wasn't allowed to fly anymore and went and lived in my mate's bungalow in his back garden, waiting for the father to come home. But he was not done doing coke and traveling. He was spending all the money that we were supposed to be trying to get set up over here on getting his last kicks in, traveling Europe and getting as fucked up as he could.
Yeah.
And I was just living in the bungalow in my mate's garden.
Waiting for a baby.
With no car and no anything. Yeah. Meanwhile, I'll never forget this moment. So I got done for drink driving just before I left for London.
Yeah.
Did a shot in a bar. This is a bar around the corner from my house. No excuse. Did a shot. Drove home. So, of course, the cops are right there. I'm like, God, the one time I'm actually not wasted. I literally just had a shot 5 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Like, there's plenty of times you guys could have done me for real drink driving.
Irony. Yeah.
Plenty of times you could have done me properly for it.
Yeah.
I'm like, God, you got me that one time. So when I got back, of course, I'd done my 2 years while I was overseas. But when I got back here, I had to get my license back. So I'm the chick in court with the mega prega belly. Yeah. The drink driving court, right? Trying to get my license back. So, and part of that was me going to, like, when I was pregnant, I had to get on the bus and I had to go, I went to Centrelink. I was trying to get like the baby bonus and the court called me while I was in Centrelink. So I'm the chick now, okay? So I'm in Centrelink trying to get the baby bonus, trying to get the doll. I'm in my Uggies. I've got the court calling me about my drink driving charges. And I remember that moment and I was just like, how the fuck did I become that chick in the Uggies at Centrelink in the doll line talking to the court about my fucking drink driving charges?
Yeah. He's like, how did my life get here?
Like, what the fuck? And all the while I wanted to scream to everyone, but I'm not her, you know, I'm not her. Yeah. That's not me. I'm not like other people who have hit rock bottom. I'm above. I was always above everyone.
Yeah.
No, I fucking wasn't, Mel, because that's who I was.
This is exactly where your life
That's
is.
exactly where my life is, and that's exactly who I am.
Which again is the interesting thing with kind of being wasted and all of that. It makes us not look at the truth.
Yeah.
And so you're meeting the truth it's just literally being presented to you.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is where your life is right now.
Yeah. There was a moment in time where I was like,
freezes.
wow, okay, this actually is.
And again, it's
you
like
are.
there's no, I can't blame my dad's death. I can't blame this. I can't blame that. This is actually, I've got me to this point in my life.
Yeah, this is where I am because of me. But I still didn't realize it, Everything was everyone else's fault. And although I blamed, but I couldn't take accountability for being in that spot. It's like, so I can blame myself. Well, everything's my fault, but also nothing is my fault at the exact same time.
Well, I think the beauty of blame is the fact that, and the way we do it, the way we're taught to do it, is I'm going to collect the tickets of all the things that happened to me that were fun.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to absolutely go in a self-destructive space, but then hate myself for it because I can't pull myself out of it. But if anyone checks in, I'm going to give you all of the tickets to go, this is why. These are the cards I got dealt in life.
Yeah.
And so because I have these cards, I'm allowed to not function. And as I say to so many people, when you get your exit interview, and this is probably something I would have said to you that may have taken longer to sink in, it's like, when you get your exit interview and they go, how'd you go with life? You're going to present all those tickets to go, these are all the fuck things that happened to me. And to me, your person in the exit interview is going to say, that's lovely, but that doesn't tell me anything about you, how you went or how you supported yourself. And so we redo the interview going, well, what did you learn? How did you adjust in how you supported yourself? And what did you do differently from there? When we're asked it that way, it's scary because we realize that those tickets are irrelevant. They're just experiences.
Yeah.
And what we do with it is actually how we're meant to learn and support us up through life. And so getting people to see the shift, that we're not the tickets, but actually what happens after. We're not the trauma, but what we do with it afterwards. That's where it happens. It's like saying to you before, this is the shit show that's going on, but you were secretly rebuilding you over here with all the little pieces that had been happening, those moments that you had, that epiphany and the truth settle in, but we're oblivious to it, don't see it. And that was, I think, the beauty in working with you of unveiling that to you. And this is why when we unpack things, you go, yeah, but this taught you this and this helped you find your voice or find that you wanted more. It's like even the same pattern in going, yep, I nearly died again.
Yeah.
I keep choosing to not die, so I must want something more. Yeah. But then I go back to finding all my excuses of why I can stay because I'm too scared, because my belief in when I'm little is like, well, I can't do it by myself. Someone's going to look after me or someone's going to rescue me. And you're like, no one was coming to rescue you.
I've only up until 5 months ago kept thinking someone was going to rescue me. This whole time, someone else has been rescuing me. And it's been a long journey. Because, going back to having the baby, he was born and I was not a happy camper. I had severe postnatal depression, call it whatever you want. It was rough. And I was, I was living with the man's mother.
Yeah.
And in a really shitty environment, in a beautiful house in Hampton, but not happy.
Yeah.
And mum living in another country, and brothers don't give a shit about the pregnant Kata that's just had a baby. They don't care. They're long gone. They're doing their own thing. And Kata's got herself into quite a shit show this time. And I ended up leaving him when Jacob was 8 months old. I left and I just kept looking for someone to come and look after me. Yeah. So I end up back with the man that I tried to get away from.
Yeah. Before
when I moved to London, the man with the whole other story. And that didn't work out because we find out he's lying to me this whole time and he's actually married. He's been lying to me for 10 years.
And he was the older person too.
He was the boss when my dad died. He was my boss.
And so then for you, it's like that's the exact same pattern of going, I need an older male that's going to come and rescue me or look after me.
Going to, because he was rich and he looked after me after my dad died because he was my boss and he let me go out and get shit-faced every weekend and get fucked up on drugs.
Yeah, totally.
and he was the boss. So I could rock up to work and leave a little sticky note on his desk and say, yeah, I got fucked up this weekend.
Yeah, I'm going to be late.
And then I end up in a really fucked up relationship with that man. And then he became the stepdad to Jacob. He's the kind of semi-stepdad.
And you're living your best life now because
and I'm
someone's
like,
looking
okay,
after
cool.
you.
I got him. He's looking after me. And even though I never get to see him because he travels a lot and he's very important, he's got a very important job. And I didn't get to see him because he was married.
You didn't know that?
No, I didn't know that. So that
broke your world.
That's when I became an alcoholic full blown, I think, after I found that out. Because now I've gone from being the single mum who's left the man but I've got the other man that's been looking after me in the corner in the shadows all this time. The man that's been helping me with money and helping me financially and telling me it's fine if you come home pregnant. I know you were going to get rid of the baby, but that's all right. I'll look after you. Come home, and doesn't matter if you don't end up with the father. We don't like him anyway because I'll help you. And we'll be a happy family and we'll build a big mansion and we'll buy chickens and everything will be fine. I just won't see you much, but I'll pay for you for things.
Yeah.
And I'll help pay your rent and I'll help you with your car and I'll rock up and play dad, and put your son to sleep. And I'll come to your friends' weddings with you and tell your mum I'm going to build her a house one day and fully integrate myself into your life as my partner. But I'm not going to tell you that I'm actually married and have a whole other life. So when I found out that man who was going to be
everything,
my forever,
like Prince Charming.
Well, he was my savior. He's the savior. He was the savior when my dad died. He was my savior when he was my boss because he let me keep my job, even though I was getting shit-faced all the time. He was always, this man traveled the world to see me. Every time I tried to get away from him, he flew across the oceans to find me and tried to bring me home. Fucking storybook.
Yeah.
This man's flown across the ocean. He flew to America and took me all over the place. He loves me. He flew to fucking London and tried to bring me home. He's flown here, there and everywhere. He's literally crossed oceans for me, this man, and convinced me that we are, just wait, babe, just wait. And everything will be fine. Oh, my ex-wife's sick. She's dying of cancer. I can't tell her yet. My son's not well. Can't tell. You can't. No one can know about you just yet because I'm dealing with family dramas and I'm Greek and I'm important. I'm like the fucking shit. And you just stay quiet. And then when the time comes, we'll be out in the world together.
And I think that's when I started seeing you more regularly.
Yes.
Because your life blew up.
Yeah, when I found out he was married, I was ready to die. And I think that's when I was really genuinely suicidal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because for you it was no one's ever going to save me.
Yeah, that was really hard.
Yeah. Yeah. And probably again, you're meeting your death. It's like the death of you again, the death of the way you were living again comes and hits you.
Well, that was, to me, the end. I'm like, I have fought and fought and fought so hard. And he was my ticket out, And I thought, I've got no one else. And he's my savior. And to be betrayed that badly and to be lied to in that kind of way was so...
It broke.
Absolutely. Look, it still breaks me. He still breaks me. The thought of what happened then. Like, it was such a shock. It was death. He died.
Yeah.
And that is the first time my dad died, but that is the first time I experienced grief like that. I was like, this man is cut out of my life and he is dead now.
Yeah.
And I can't see him. I can't speak to him. I will never kiss him. I will never cuddle him. I will never have him.
He's gone.
He's gone. My safety net, he was my safety net for 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
That's a long time.
If you think about it too, it's like exactly what you're saying. That's everything that you needed.
Yeah.
Life. He played all of those roles. No wonder you would never have seen that coming.
No, I had no idea.
He was every ticket that you needed emotionally to not have to rely on yourself for. Someone else was going to give it to you. So.
And he was perfect and we had the perfect relationship. When I look back now, it was a fucking mess.
Yeah.
But He was the whining and the dining and the flying all over the world and the going on these exotic holidays and the playing with my son and going to the park and my family, you know, he was my family.
Literally how you felt as a little girl.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh, just wait, and then we're going to have a baby together, and Jacob will have a sibling, and look how good he is. He's such a good father, way better father than his actual father is to him. He's a way better dad. And then overnight, he was gone. Yeah. And it broke me. And then it went from, you know, having a glass of wine after work to now I'm waking up in the morning and I am going to drink.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm still going to go to work and I'm still going to be, because at this point, Jacob and I are 50-50, right? So Jacob's at his dad's / grandmother's house every second week. So every second week, I can get as fucked up as I like, right? And then the week I'm here, I can just hold it together enough to like be a mum, right? Yeah. He's only little, he's a baby.
Yeah.
And I just have to keep him
yeah.
fed and watered, and we go to the park and we put our shows on and we go to our friends' houses for barbecues and we go to mum's house and, you know, cool. And then, okay, he's gone to his dad's house now, so I'm going to fucking annihilate myself. So every second week was lying in bed, not eating, drinking, chain smoking, not functioning. I didn't go to work for 4 months after I found out he was married. I couldn't. And of course, my work's associated with this man too, because guess what? We're in the same industry and he's the all-powerful boss man that everyone knows. And when all the lawyers, doesn't matter what law firm I go work for, right? He's doing a presentation at this night and, oh, did you see him talk about this and that? And they're all talking about how wonderful he is. Meanwhile, I used to be my little secret ticket. Oh, he's actually my boyfriend, right? Which is another reason, of course, conveniently, why we were never allowed to out our relationship, because he's in the same industry as me and we know a lot of the same people. And
so
I was the secret.
Look at how the deceit happened.
Yeah, that's right. And I was the secret, and it used to be thrilling. Like, they're all talking about this wonderful man and he's actually mine. He's mine. And now they're all still talking about this wonderful man and I'm going, he's a fucking piece of shit. He's been cheating on his wife for 10 years and fucking annihilated me.
Married,
yeah. And so I couldn't go to work for 4 months because I can't sit there and listen to them talk about this man, even though he doesn't work at the same law firm as me.
Yeah, because
everyone's talking about him.
Well, you're also betrayed and angry and lost and broken.
Yes, exactly.
And all of that. Well, life is over.
Yeah, my life was over.
Yeah.
And my son saved me again, because he was the only reason why I didn't kill myself.
Yeah. Because he had to get up.
Well, because his dad's incapable, living at his mum's house, can't look after him.
Yeah.
So if I go, then who does he have?
Yeah.
He's got no one. I am it for him.
So you're like slightly functioning in your dysfunctional state because of that reason.
Yeah, because I can't leave my baby boy all alone in the world with no one.
Yeah. So what happened next?
So I met a lot of men again after that. The married man disappeared. I met another guy who was very, very, very bad for me, and we got engaged very briefly. He was quite abusive, actually, that guy. But you know what? He answered the phone and he came over every day and I knew where he was and he wasn't married.
Right. And he also wanted to marry you.
He wanted to marry me and have babies with me.
Yeah.
So sweet, cool. And he's got a little kid and Jacob's got a friend now. He's got a little stepbrother to hang out with. So that didn't last very long, a year. And then it was another relationship and another relationship. And then I met Adam. And he was a big piss head and he was really kind. And he was another guy that was around at my house every day and wanted to hang out with me every day and had a kid and didn't want to get married, didn't want to have any more children. But I was like, oh, that's semantics. You know, we'll figure that out. If he loves me enough, I'll be able to convince him to do that stuff with me. Because at least he's here and someone's here and I'm not alone anymore. And also he's not going to judge me because that last guy that I got engaged to started giving me shit about drinking too much, right? So don't want to hang out with him anymore because he's telling me that I drink too much.
Well, safe place.
Alcohol is now my best friend, right? And even though the guy was abusive and not right for me, he also called me out on my, at that point, full-blown alcoholism. So he was never going to work out because he wouldn't let me drink. He didn't
Yeah.
like me drinking. Whereas Adam came along and, this guy cracks a beer in the morning on the way to work. I've never drank in the morning. This is
Wow.
fucking new.
New rules.
This is great.
Wow.
Now I
Yeah.
can drink in the morning as well. That's great.
So, pour it on the brekkie.
So I ended up marrying my drinking buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which then even more so gives you a reason to not see things.
Yeah. But to be fair, I think that's why, because I did not like him I didn't like him like that when I first met him. I remember talking to my mum and her going, who's this guy that you've been hanging out with? I said, well, he's kind of boring. He's not really my cup of tea at all. But I said, but he's a really nice guy, he's really helpful and he can build things.
Well, if you
and
look at this, he's the safe,
he's very
not gonna
safe and he
challenge
builds
you.
things and and he's like looking after my garden. He doesn't care if I drink and he's like a good dad and,
Yeah, totally.
he's
not
got
caring that
a
you
bunch of
drink.
red flags. It's that he didn't care that I drank.
Yeah, and it means that he's not going to challenge me and
Mm-mm.
he's here. And I also don't have to work hard to try and get anyone else.
No, that's right. I don't have to. And by
this
then,
works.
I've got no opinion of myself, right? By now, I am like the fucking lowest of the low. Like, what a fucking idiot. How could you be with this man for so long that was married? Fucking sorry, me. I had such a long list of reasons why I was a fucking ultimate
Well, you've just been
fucker,
collecting the
yeah.
reasons to hate yourself.
Yeah, here's
And
here's
it's
another
low.
thing, another thing, another thing, another thing. So by now my self-worth is so low, I'm just going to take anyone that will hang out with me. And
Quickly.
And I don't care if I know subconsciously or consciously deep down,
We're
I'm
not
going
gonna
to
check
shove,
in.
I'm going to shove those feelings down. He's not right for me. I'm going to ignore the fact that we've got nothing really in common. I'm going to just focus on all the things we do have in common, which is drinking and listening to music and Party Cata's back, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, my old friend.
Yeah, subdued kind of Party Cata because raise a child in this
because
space.
we've got a kid now. So
Some
we're
kind
not
of
going out and we're not
yeah.
doing drugs anymore. We're just drinking on the weekends and doing gardening.
Yeah.
Because now we garden when we're drinking instead of doing Charlie. Yeah, it was much more productive.
Totally. Working.
It was working and it worked for a long time. And I never really, I think something in me never really wanted to marry him. But then we find out that Jacob's dad gets put in a mental institution because he's psychosis. He's got diagnosed schizophrenic now. And I've got Child Protective Services coming around to my house to check that my house is all right because Jacob's no longer safe at his dad's house. So now I am really, really, really this time I'm it, because his dad really is like cannot look after him legally anymore, not allowed. So I'm like, I need to create a stable environment for my son because what if someone rocks around to my house and tells me that your environment's not that great either? Yeah, when they see the 10 bottles of wine, empty wine on the floor, not even in the bin, in a nice little neat pile on the floor, all lined up with their labels facing the perfect direction, but not in the bin, you know what I mean? Just neatly, because there's still some order in my life. I'm not that person, right? I'm still not that person now. I'm still not that fucking person, right? Because my wine bottles, my empty wine bottles are like neat. Yeah, and my house is clean.
Wine were you drinking?
At my worst, after I was with Adam for 7 years, and it was not great when I met him, but by the time I stopped drinking, I was drinking probably 2 or 3 bottles of wine a night and about 10 ciders a day. So by then I was physically addicted.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to blame COVID. But shit, man, staying and working from home all the time with another dude that drinks piss and has lost his job.
Made it really.
And real fucking easy. Don't even have to get the kids to school anymore now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So day drinking.
Just became pretty normal.
Yeah, that's normal. And it got bad. And now all of a sudden I am now physically addicted, which I'd never been before.
Yeah.
Where it's now I wake up in the morning and if I don't drink, I'm going to be sick. And I'm going to get the shakes and I can't even roll a cigarette. I can't it got to the point where I'm like, I can't even put sugar in my cup of tea in the morning because
the shakes.
all over the place because I had the shake so bad. So gone is the cup of tea in the morning because now we're having a cider so that we can function for the day. And why am I puking every morning? I'm like, man, it's really weird. I feel really sick, but not queasy. I'm just like violently ill for like 2 years, violently ill. And I'm like, why is it when I cough, I feel like something, like I've got this alien inside my body. I feel like one of my organs is like oversized.
Yes.
And what the fuck is that, you know? And we're not going to go to the doctor and find any of that out because someone's going to tell me I'm going to have to stop drinking. I can't stop drinking because I'm physically addicted to it now and mentally and emotionally and I've reached full-blown alcoholism.
Been to rehab.
And I went to rehab. Yeah. So I went to rehab at the start of 21. So things went bad during COVID and I went, I cannot do this anymore. I am fucking going to rehab. And so I went to rehab for a week, but it was never it was never to stop drinking permanently. It was, okay, I need to stop to get over the physical addiction. And then I can just go back to like having drinks on the weekends and
it's almost like the pause that cuts it down. So then you can go back to people saying, oh, just now instead of having my 2 bottles of wine a day, I'll be able to have my 2 glasses at night.
Exactly. It was I'm
gonna die. So I'm
not at all. It was I need to get this physical addiction thing's annoying me. It's become irritating and I want to be able to have a cup of tea in the morning. And I wanted to stop the shakes. And then I want to drink my wine at night.
Yeah.
I just want to go back to being a normal drinker.
Yeah.
Right? Like everyone else.
Yeah.
So I went to rehab for a week and I stopped. I was like, I'm going to stop for 30 days. No drink, no booze for 30 days. I started a new job. I had already landed this job. Fuck knows how I landed this job in the state that I was in. So I rolled through some interview and slammed it.
Wow.
Because you compartmentalize, the master of compartmentalizing and fooling people, right? I landed a really important, very fancy job at a very fancy law firm and I went to rehab for a week. Perfect timing, right? Already checked into rehab. Sweet. That's a good time to start my new job. Told them I need a week because I'm going away with my family. And started 2 days after I got back from rehab. But I was fine because I spent 7 days not drinking.
Yeah.
So I did 30 days of sobriety. And Adam went out and bought me a box of wine after my 30 days to celebrate. Not a bottle, a box. Because I'm with the man who realizes if she gets well, she's not going to want me anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, because she's going to realize.
Yeah, this is an illusion.
She doesn't really like what she's seeing here. So let's keep her wasted.
And then for you, you were just looking for the excuse to start again.
Yeah, well, for me, I was on some kind of illusion that I'm different, right? I'm different from everyone else.
Yeah.
Because I'm a superwoman. I'm a super shit-faced. I'm a super professional at it.
Yes.
So I can be that person that just goes to rehab for a week.
Yeah.
And then do my 30 days. And because I'm such a legend, right? Because although I hate myself, I've got so much, like, I think I'm awesome, even though I think I'm a fucking loser. I'm that 1%, you know, that can do that. And then I can just have 2 glasses of wine a night and be fine.
And we're back to the
lasted about 3 weeks. And then it was back to full-blown physical addiction very quickly. I think it was about maybe a month, maybe slightly more. And also I've got one of my best mates coming around. She brings a box of wine round too. I feel really bad bringing this around when you've just gone through rehab, but said you're drinking again. So I didn't have a real supportive environment around me.
You got people that are keeping you in that old pattern that you were.
Yeah, that's right. And everyone rocking around and still pouring me glasses of wine when I go around to their house, or let's give the fucking alcoholic alcohol.
When we were working in that time, I remember sessions and stuff, because it's very conflicting in what we're talking about. It was very looking at the truth and the making choices to be present and conscious and see what's happening and see the patterns and find your really how you felt about stuff and all that. Where was that? Was that we would do a session, then you would hold it and then you would disappear it with wine, or like we're building here. We're building the secret new village or new place that you moved to. Yeah. But for you, what was that like?
I feel like I was always looking down at my life from afar. And it's like, here's healthy Kata that works with Mel and knows what's going on, right? And it's all right because that little chick down there on earth that's like fucking everything up.
Yeah.
She's not real. She's not the real me.
Yeah.
Like, I know what needs to be done here. The real me that's floating
It's
around
like
out
full
here.
higher self version.
Yeah. Watching myself going, like, come on.
When are you going to stop?
Come on, dude. Like, work it out. Like, we've got all the tools here, right? What are you doing? And I've always felt this.
Yes, I totally get it. I say that it's like,
separation.
higher self, and then you're this version of us, our earth self, is so connected to our little inner child that comes in. And when we talk about sabotage, we hate that version of us, but the sabotage version of us is the smartest part of you that's like, I know how I get safe. I go make everyone love me. I'll use sex. I'll use everything as a way to make people love me so I feel safe and protected. And so she's so good that she's the one that is playing all the rules and making all the choices. And so it's this version being able to go, we need to love her so much that she sees the actual big picture and the truth.
And the thing is, this little Kata down here that's still fucking up, right? She feels like she's got even more of a superpower now because she's got all these tools and she's fully self-aware and aware of what's happening. So she knows at some point she's not going to do this anymore.
So she's just waiting.
So she's just like, I'm not really ready to like come into my own yet.
Yeah.
So let's just see how far we can get away with this before we have to really start listening to the Kata that actually knows what the fuck is going on.
You know, the death, you meet the death.
Yeah. When am I going to push myself to fucking another brink where I can't come back?
Live, die.
Yeah. And where do I go? I end up in hospital with severe pancreatitis because my husband gets sick. Right now he's my husband, love of my life. He came to my wedding, beautiful wedding. Yeah. Everything was so, oh my God, I don't have to worry about myself anymore. I really genuinely, there was not a bone in my body that thought this man was not the perfect man for me. I genuinely thought he was the love of my life. Every inch of me.
In your drunk
He was drunk. A drunk Kata life. Yeah. He was the perfect man.
Yeah. The hippie part of you.
And by now we're trying to have a baby and like everything's fine. And then he got sick. We had like a year of marriage and he got very, very sick. And now I have to put on a different hat because now I've got a husband that's really sick and he's just been told he can never do his job again. He's never going to be able to work again.
So all of the things of you being looked after.
No one's looking after me anymore. And now I'm back to single Kata, right? With a dude now kids, that I'm looking after and his kid and my kid. And how the fuck did this happen? This is not what I signed up for. But I want to be the savior. I want to be oh, wow, she's got a sick husband. Oh, okay. Look what excuse I've got now.
One more ticket.
I've got a free ticket because now I'm dealing with all of this because now I'm in an hour hospital and I'm dealing with diagnoses and now I'm dealing with, okay, well, he's not dying, but he may as well be. And now I can be pissed off at the world too because I'm not getting any sympathy because his disease doesn't start with a C and no one's doing any GoFundMe fucking things for me. But I'm broke and I've got nothing and no one even knows how to pronounce what he's got because it has to be super rare, right? And no one gives a fuck about it.
Totally.
So now I'm pissed off too because I'm dealing with a sick dude and no one gives a fuck that he's sick because no one even knows what the fuck is wrong with him because no one understands it or has ever even heard of it. So now I'm bitter as well. It's like, why can't you be real sick from something that people give a fuck about? Because then at least someone would do a GoFundMe for me and someone would look after me again, right? Because no one's looking after me.
Yes. And you're back in the same pattern.
Yeah, that's right. So here's my other ticket now to get
fucked up.
To get fucked up again. So I'm going to drink again more and more and more and more and more and more. And now it's like, this is where we're getting to my real bad part where now I'm buying a box of wine and it's lasting 2 days instead of 6 days. And I'm buying a case of cider and it's lasting me 2 days instead of. So not only am I spending hundreds of dollars on booze, it's not doing anything for me other than helping me function throughout the day and putting me to sleep at night because I'm still getting on the train and I'm still going to work every day and I'm ciders. I'm going to the bottle on my lunch break to buy a cider so I can get through the second half of the day, right, without shaking. And I'm thinking I'm fine and no one notices, right? I was not fine.
Yeah.
And I'm sure people noticed.
Yeah.
But she's got the schizo. Her son's father's a schizo and her husband's sick.
Yeah.
You know, and she's got all these problems going on, and work knows I'm having panic attacks at work. I'm like puking on the way to work, having full-blown anxiety, panic. Couldn't be because I'm drinking myself to oblivion.
Yeah.
It's because of everything else. But
Your
it was
body's
never
shutting
the
down.
alcohol's fault, right?
Yeah.
Because alcohol is my friend.
Yeah.
So now I go, and here we go. Let's just have one more crack at fucking meeting death in the face and see if it actually does something
Which way you're
this
going
time.
to go.
So let's just keep drinking and let's decide to not eat. I consciously chose to not eat food, any food, no cup of tea, no coffee, no nothing. I made a conscious decision to stop eating.
You just didn't care enough.
Because I wanted to die.
Yeah, well.
And I thought, let's just see how far I can go. Because unless I get to the point of near death, I am never going to get out of this. And I am going to end up with my kid getting taken off me. And I am going to end up dead or homeless or that person that you always told yourself you were never going to be. You're either going to die or you're going to be that. So let's see if you can either die or if you do get to the point of death, if it's going to snap you out of it.
Yeah.
So that's exactly what I did. I made a conscious choice, basically to kill myself, but still I'm still not killing myself.
I'm not taking responsibility for killing myself.
No, we're not going to call it suicide. We're going to do long haul.
Yeah. I'm going to pretend I'm not doing it.
Yeah. So I'm just going to not eat. And let's see how that goes for you if all you put is alcohol in your body for as long as possible. And it took me about 2.5 weeks.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden I'm puking. That weird thing, that puking thing that I've been doing for 2 years straight is come back. But now it's really bad. And now I'm in agony. And now I'm on the couch and I can't go upstairs. And I'm on the couch for 24 hours. And the kids and Adam, the saviour, Kata's just really sick. She's got the stomach flu because, that's all right. I'm on the couch. People get sick sometimes. Meanwhile, I'm trying to have a sip of cider thinking that'll get me better because, okay, I'm really sick now. Let's try roll off the couch into the garage and have a sip of alcohol because maybe that will make me better because that's the only thing that makes me better now because I am fucked addicted to this shit. And as soon as I put it in my mouth, I'd vomit. So I was like that for about 36 hours. And then I rang the GP. I had a GP consult, thanks COVID. You can just call the doctor now. Don't have to go see them. And he says, I can't prescribe you anti-nausea tablets and I think you should go straight to the hospital. And I'm like, no, I just need to stop puking. He's like, no, you could have something really seriously wrong with you.
36 hours of puking now.
You're telling me that you can't walk, you're in agony, having semi-seizures at this point. My body was seizing.
Yeah, because you're not drinking.
Because I wasn't drinking alcohol anymore because I couldn't.
Yeah.
So I'm having I'm having real bad cramps, severe cramps, legs, arms, hands, really bad, really bad.
Yeah.
So, and then I kind of said to Adam, well, look, you need to take me to the hospital. I've got to go to the hospital. I got into the hospital and I puked as I was walking into emergency. They came out and took my blood pressure and, normally you sit in emergency for quite a while. I sat in emergency for about 8 minutes. They took me back, took my blood, put me back in emergency, came back about 10 minutes later and rushed me through. And then I was on drips within, I reckon from the time I arrived at emergency to when they had me out the back was about 15 minutes.
Wow.
They said your potassium is so low, you are about to have a massive heart attack. And if you'd waited at home for another half an hour, you probably would have had a heart attack and died. They said your pancreas is so inflamed, you're at the point of no return. We see people coming here with pancreatitis not as bad as what you've got right now, and they're dead within 8 hours. So they said if you had not come here, you would be dead. And that was the first time I'd really had a doctor look at me and say, you are on the verge of death, seriously. And it's not where you're getting out of here in 2 hours. It's a you need to stay here for like 3-4 days.
Yeah. And we also don't know if you're going to make it yet.
Yeah, and we're not sure. And we won't know till the morning whether we can fucking
Save you
save you. Yeah.
from choices that you've made.
Drunk alcohol again. So it really did.
Made you. Yeah.
Yeah, it really did.
It's the life it does.
Yeah. And that is literal. And I'd done it time and time again to myself. But I knew if I didn't push myself to that point,
It's like this party.
it was like I
I
need to get to that point so that I stop. And if I don't stop after I do that to myself,
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
I'm done anyway.
Totally.
Yeah, because I've been
It's
killed
like
myself many times now
so long.
for sorrow.
And it's like, I'm either going to die
Hmm.
or I'm going to live.
Yeah,
And it's that moment. How long have you been sober now?
18 months on Thursday.
It's amazing.
Mhm.
It's amazing.
And my whole life changed.
I was about to say, and how's your life changed since then?
Well, I left my husband. Yep. I've got a great job,
Yeah.
which I love.
Do you like yourself more?
Oh my God, yeah. Yeah. I feel like everything is so fucking clear now.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like I can look back and that little one that's hovering around up there, she's still hovering around a bit,
Yeah.
but she's way more where I feel way more connected now.
It's
Yeah.
like a question, if we were doing an exit interview, which we kind of are in so many ways, really. How'd you go at supporting yourself through life? Your answer now is totally different.
Yeah.
You've moved from, I've been waiting so long for someone to save me.
Yeah. Well, that's the biggest shift is I am alone now and I am so happy to be alone. Like I've finally realized that the only person who can look after me and my son is me. And now I am the awesome mum. I'm not just pretending to be. Actually,
Right.
and I'm like, thank fuck I did it when he was this age because I got it just in the nick of time.
Yeah.
Because he's 13 now. And I'm like,
Yeah, you've got
if
the
I'd
best
waited a
version of
couple
time.
more years,
Yeah.
he's,
You would
I'm
have
not,
missed each other.
I would have missed him. Yeah. And I'm the fuck up mum instead of being his best mate.
Yeah.
And I knew that too. I
Yeah.
always knew that. Like he's getting older. I need to sort this out
Yeah.
because he's not gonna know. He's gonna start noticing
Yeah.
that even though mum's playing with me and doing everything,
She's
and doing
not
my
present.
bath and doing
Yeah.
all of this and doing all of that, she does all the things.
Yeah. But she's not present.
She's real sick all the time.
Mm. It's fascinating, isn't it?
Mm.
It's a very powerful story because it takes people through the truth of how we just do life without being present to ourselves at all. And even seeing all the links to put it back together to what you were working on. Your story was always there waiting for you.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? And it just kept presenting itself in different ways for you to find it. It's like your soul self, which is this version of you is like, I'm not fucking giving up.
Yeah.
Right, we're going to do it this way. Now we're going to present this moment that can be a path. And so you would take the path and you'd pull it back around to this self-destructive space.
Yeah.
And it's so fascinating. It's almost like listening to a movie when we've been talking because you were never going to give up on you. Higher self was never going to let you not choose you. And this is how we explain life to people. That's exactly it. Everything makes sense when you unpack it. It's always going to bring you back to being able to find the way that you support yourself.
I think one big thing as well since I stopped drinking, and it's taken me a long time because I hate labels and like I don't do AA or and whatever helps people go for it. But I am not, because I'm doing shit my own way. But that's not why. To look back and realize that I have been a drug addict. And I have been a drug addict since I was 17 and now I'm 44. And I've never been able to tell myself that that's what I have been because I've always been somehow different from other people. Because I wasn't that kind of drug addict. I was like my own special version. But there aren't versions. There are, but I was a fucking drug addict.
Totally.
Yeah. Yeah.
Someone just using the tickets of life to escape life.
Yeah, that's right.
The what happened to me is a way that I don't actually have to do my life. I can just be a victim of circumstances.
Yeah, that's right.
And wait for someone to save me and then blame everyone else that it didn't work.
So I feel a lot more. And the other thing that I've learned as well is to just have a bit of a compassion for my younger self.
Yeah. That was a question I was going to say to you. It's like if you had to talk to her or say anything to her, what would you say?
Well, I would probably give her a big hug and I would listen and I'd ask her if she was all right. And I'd tell her, like, you know, it's okay.
And it's, to me too,
I would give her a fucking massive hug.
I believe that. I think that if we all hold the space in that story, that is, we're there to be able to look after the little version of us that needs to get through life without judging us, and to know that it's fucked and it's really hard and it's messy and that you are alone.
Yeah.
But you're not alone because you've got me in your higher self, but you're going to feel like you going through life is totally alone. So it's that reconnection to go, I've got you. No matter what happens, I've got you through this. We just have to learn how we connect that space to listen to that space better, because she was always trying to tell you stuff.
Oh, she was screaming at me, stomping her feet and screaming. I mean, she was a real bitch to me sometimes.
Yeah. But your higher self never let you go.
No.
Down.
No.
You introduce even the people that we think, when you're talking about your savior partner that you think is the miracle that comes along, it's almost like that's the massive catalyst that's going to wake you up to, you're the one that's meant to rescue you. Why are we still doing this pattern? So what we think we get is the opposite.
Yeah. I really think it's going to, or has already given me tools to be a good mum as well.
But it's real.
It's real.
It's life university.
Yeah. Because I look, like when I was reading my journals and I'm like, fuck, I was only 14 when that was happening. And now Jacob's almost 14. And like, if he was going through even a quarter of that stuff, I'd be like, he's way too young to go through that stuff. And there it goes, me giving my younger self grace as well.
Me too. I really love that.
Like,
I think that you lived in a house.
I'm much nicer to myself now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With the space to be able to not make a mistake, but have the thought or have the moment. You can be like, oh yeah, I see how you got there. It's okay. I've still got you. You know, there's a real compassion in it. I think you lived in a house that was so totally alone, but you didn't know that being alone is actually your superpower.
Yeah.
Whereas your superpower was fitting in and having everyone like you. Your true superpower from your soul is actually to know that you're alone and you've got you.
Yeah. And I'm okay. And I don't need anyone else. And I feel like now, I really feel that everything happens for a reason and that everything has happened and there is no regret left in me now and there's no blame. It's like everything has happened and all this stuff. I feel lucky.
Yeah, no, I get
because I feel like I've realized this and I'm still really young. And I'm like, I'm 44 and you know what? I am going to kick life's ass now.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I've got all the tools and I feel like sorry for people that haven't worked shit out yet. Like, don't you see it? Don't you see it?
Put your puzzle together.
Yes, work it out.
Yeah.
Hurry up and work it out because it's so much better on the other side.
It's unpack your story.
Yeah, that's right.
And this is the thing for me too. It's like when we put our life together and when we unpack it that way, you get to see your life in awe, even the fucked up stuff.
Yeah.
In awe to go, oh my God. Like, whereas I thought that was the worst thing that ever happened, I see how that led to this. And the things that we thought were the best actually end up being the things that do the bomb that changes everything.
Yeah. There's a good book in there for me.
Absolutely. It's like a movie. Even in listening to you speak, you can visualize exactly where you've been in your story and the self-destructive and the reckless abandonment and the just not caring and the wanting to be saved, but even if someone saves you, you don't believe that they care about you anyway, because they only care about you because you do stuff, not because they genuinely care about you. And so for me, this is why I wanted to share your story, and you've done such an amazing job. I'm so grateful because the truth of your story opens the door for people to go, I want to hear my own. And there'll be threads of what they hear from you that is going to make them want to hold the space for themselves. Because when you get to this point, this is where you live from. This is heaven on earth.
Yeah, that's right. You used to say to me, and you've said this to me for years, and I haven't heard you say it for a very long time, but you always used to use this analogy of being able to run your own bath.
Yeah.
And it's like, what smell you want. Like someone else can run your bath, but they're not quite,
it's never going to be what you
they're
want.
never going to get it quite the right temperature, and they're never going to put the oils in it that you want, and they might put bubble bath in it, and you don't want bubble bath. Yeah, they get the movie wrong, or they get the lighting wrong, they light the wrong candle, or they got the wrong view. And it's like, I know I run the best bath now for myself.
And it's you.
It's my bath. And no one's in that goddamn bath with me.
You're not going to put
I don't want anyone in there.
Fuck no.
People in my bath.
It is. It's the who's in your bath.
Yeah.
And it's that beautiful analogy to help us realize, but you're in your life alone, and alone isn't lonely.
No.
Alone when we realize that we're alone with your higher self and your little inner child sabotagey, beautiful self. They're the version of you that's in your life with you to help you work it out. And if we can connect both those stories together to try and make sense of it, we create the most amazing life for ourselves, where we get to really live and know ourselves and understand ourselves and not roast ourselves and not judge ourselves. That's a difference. Yeah. So alone is the most empowering place that you can live from. Now you have other people to learn with, but alone means that you've got you no matter what.
That's right.
And that's the full hand on heart. I've got me. Yeah. I know I've got me.
Full trust in myself and belief.
And this is...
Well, I know it's not even a question now. It's like, I know 100% that I've got it.
Yeah.
There's no doubt.
This is the thing. This is why I love working with people so much, because you feel the shift.
Yeah.
When people get their stories and they're like, I've got me, and I love that you could share everything with us today. I'm so
Thanks for listening.
Yeah. Thank you for listening to this episode of Life Unpacked with Mel Ryan. If someone in your life is going through their own life bomb, please share this episode with them. These stories may be exactly what they need to hear. Remember to follow or subscribe to the podcast so you never miss an episode. And if you feel called to unpack your own story with me, you're always welcome to reach out through my website or social media. Thank you for being part of this space. Be kind to yourself, be curious, and remember the answers you've been looking for have always been inside you. I'll see you at the next episode.